Our first winner we'll call M. She sent a question in, and we're going to preserve her anonymity by calling her M. So here is M's question. My 30-year-old brother is financially irresponsible and is behind on child support payments. My mom bails him out because she is worried he will go to jail and she won't be able to see her grandson. How can I be loving and supportive of them when I'm so angry that she is enabling him and he's ungrateful and unchanging? Well, this is a good, tough question, and I like it because it's one that I think we can all relate to. Family is tough, and I think if there's any one universal that we all struggle with, it's the fact that we'd like to change our families if we had the option. So let's get started. First off, I'll say to you, Em, I hear you. Okay, people come to me all the time and they talk about their families. And I think there's a little bit of hesitation because the assumption might be that I won't believe you. That sometimes when you talk to your friends and you say, oh my gosh, my family is impossible, and your friends say, well, they seem nice to me, I don't see any problem, maybe you're exaggerating. But that's not what your therapist does. Your therapist says, I hear you, you're not exaggerating. And I'll tell you, honestly, when people talk about their families, they tend to tell you the truth. They tend not to be exaggerating. So I'm going to say, I hear you, and they probably are really difficult. It does sound like a tough situation here. You've got a brother here who is, behind on child support payments, and a mother who seems to be sort of supporting his not following through on his responsibilities. That sounds like a tough situation. All right, the first thing we need to get in touch with here, Em, is your anger. And anger is tricky, because if you don't get in touch with it, if you don't put it into words, the danger is that you can go into action on unexplored and unexamined anger. So what we'll do together in your session is just give you a chance to talk it out. Instead of acting out on the anger or maybe bottling it up and closing down and acting in, we'll get you to talk it out and really understand this tough situation and why you are, so angry about it. Makes sense. Anger doesn't have to be anything that we're afraid of. I welcome your anger, and I welcome you to bring it in and to put it into words. The next thing we'll do, once we've listened to your anger and had a chance to try to understand it, is to try to understand if we want to bring this anger to your family. And this is a tough decision. Let's say we do. Let's say that you do decide that you'd like to talk to them, although it's not a given. I'm not going to assume that. But if you would like to talk to your family, I would encourage you to use an old therapist trick, really, a sort of a technique called the I statement. It's also known as leading with your feelings. And what that is really is simply finding a way to bring something that's difficult for someone to hear in a way that's most likely that they'll hear it. And you do that by bringing your own feelings, by starting with your own feelings and putting them front and center. Essentially what you're doing is you're talking about yourself instead of talking about them. So what you're going to do is say, I feel angry, or I feel frustrated, or I feel hurt, or I feel sad, whatever your feelings are. And then finish the sentence by saying, because you're not paying your child support payments or obligations, you're not insisting that my brother pay these things, you're not supporting me in trying to get my brother to pay these obligations. The key here is that we're starting with your feelings. You're not attacking, you're not telling them how they feel, you're not criticizing them or advising them or controlling them. You're simply telling them what their behavior's effect has been on you and on your feelings. So that's the I statement, that's leading with your feelings, and that's going to be your best bet if you want to try to talk to your family and approach them with your anger. Now that I've said that, I do want to again reiterate that I can't, make that judgment for you. That's your decision whether you want to go to your family. And if you do go to your family, and even with an I statement, even leading with your feelings, it's very possible they won't be able to hear you. And that's just how things are. You can love your family, you can not love your family, you can see your family, you can not see your family, but you can't change them. You can't change other people. We can't read their minds, and we can't change their minds. So what you have to do then is really decide whether you want contact with them or not. I very often get asked by my patients, my family's driving me crazy, is it okay if I don't see them? Is it okay if I cut them off, at least for a little while? And my answer is, yeah, that's up to you. That's your decision, what sort of contact you'd like to have with your family. That is your decision.